Hi, all. Jean here, and I am continuing with my spiritual journey and how it began. And ultimately, I'll get to a place of where it's at. But I think I'm still in the beginning, in the middle, somewhere of this journey and this story. So you guys have to bear with me. Yeah, it is a beautiful day. It's snowing outside. It's basically very cloudy. I'm not sure why I'm telling you about the weather. And but here I am, sharing my spiritual journey with you guys. And so welcome to my channel. And if you haven't yet, you can subscribe or you can like. I would love it if you can subscribe and follow me along this journey. Ultimately, I'll be speaking on many different stories and how my life is going. And this channel is all about it's real, it's natural, and it's soul. Lots of that. All the naturalness in the world you can get. And yeah, it's going to be natural. So I'm continuing from talking about when I was at the ashram and what I've learned. So this is a good segment for you to join on as to what I've learned. And as a recap, I learned yoga, meditation, chanting, journaling, doing self inquiry, daily reflection, and living in community and how to live in community. Up until going to the ashram, I had no idea how to be and how to live in community. And it's one of the things that I've learned at that ashram, and it also gave me a home that I can go to at any time in my life. Anytime I want, I can go to this place because it is my home, it is my community. I am known there. And when I go to the ashram, I am received as someone that belong. And having a community, the biggest thing I think that when you cultivate and build and belong to a community, you really feel safe. You really have a home and a place to go to whenever that is. So if I'm not feeling well, if I know that I need some spiritual recharge or I need answers to something, I know there is a place that I can go to. I know when I get older, I can go to that place and I would still be welcome. And I hope for you that you too have a community like that, a place you can go and there is no question as to why you are there, and you just receive as you are. And usually, when I arrive at the ashram, I'm almost always in some kind of a breakdown, some kind of a shit. I remember going right after my divorce, and wow, that was hard. It was Thanksgiving, but I was received. I've been there for Christmas over the holidays. I went back and spent 6 months just to be in the community. And so I go as often as I can. And I recommend that for you, living in community and being in community and understanding what that is to be in community. And so some of the other things that I've learned, and you might see me looking down. Yep, I wrote it down because, cannot just rely on what's outside. So I write down a few things. And so one of the other things about living in at the ashram and what I learned there is I cultivate a deep connection to myself, because when you are in the shit, as I call it, when you are in the breakdown and you have no place to go, you have to go within. You have to look inside. What's going on? What is the trauma? What am I hiding? What are my secrets? What am I ashamed of? What it is I couldn't tell anyone before. I am in a place where I can share that, where I feel safe enough to share my deepest, darkest, or what I think is my deepest, darkest issue. And so going within within myself, having that deep connection within myself allow me to have deep connection with the people that I did my program with, the YDC, which is the Yoga Development Course, right? It's a program. And when you're in cohort with a group of people, naturally, when you share your your deepest darkest secret or the things that you're afraid of the most, you become connected to others because they too share, and so you really end up in a community. I can speak to anyone from that time in my life, anyone that I have done that program with, and anyone else who have done the program, and right away we know each other. We know each other in a way that we don't have to use words. We can talk in a very transparent way. And so I actually want that for you. I want that for you. So find a place, find a community that you can share your inner trauma with, your breakdown with. Find that, and that would help you a lot. The other thing that I've learned there is the divine light invocation. And the divine light invocation is a practice. It is a meditation practice. It is a few minutes in your life where you really and truly ask the divine, to be the light inside of you. It is a beautiful practice. And right now I have to look it up to say it to you guys. Maybe I'll share it another time. But it's very sacred, it's very sacred, the divine light, inviting that into you, and believe it or not, you become so transparent, it's ridiculous. So I again, that is something that I've learned. The other thing that I've learned was studying my mind. And studying and witnessing your mind really is where you sit and you put yourself on a timer for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But to begin with, you want to put yourself on a very small amount of time. So I would say 5 minutes. And you sit for 5 minutes and you watch your mind. You just watch your mind, what is happening there, what is going on. I remember the first time that I sat in circle and in community, and having to do that practice, watching my mind. And the first time I watched my mind, I tell you, um, I actually was thinking about making bread. I was like, why am I thinking about making bread? But when you can sit and watch your mind, that is one of the first way you can start becoming aware of what the thoughts that you have running around in your mind. It is profound. It is enlightening. It is insightful. It helps you along your life. It gives you a chance in your life to be aware of the amount of untruth, the amount of things that run through your mind. And when you get the opportunity to look at your mind, I have to tell you something. When you're watching your mind, it goes blank. It's a smart thing. It's like, I'm not going to say anything. It's very smart. But if you stay long enough in that process of watching, you would see that a lot of the stuff that happens there is not even real. And it's kind of sad that as people, we actually believe the shit that we are telling ourselves. It's not real. Most of it isn't. And that's why it's like a garden. It's really like a garden. You plant all these stuff, but there is all these weeds that grow up inside of this garden. And when you can watch your mind, it's like going out into the garden and pulling out the weeds, because you're like, oh, this doesn't even belong. This is foreign. And it's actually foreign. It doesn't belong. That's what a weed is. It's a plant that is growing outside of its natural habitat. So I recommend watching your mind, because it's actually going to let you weed out all that is just noise. all that is noise. So that is one of the things I actually highly recommend. One of the other things I really learned there, and I'm going to stop on this one, is transparency, being honest, being real, telling the truth, even when the saying is the truth hurt. Be careful that you want the truth. You would not be able to handle the truth, and all the things, all the negative things that happen around the truth. Yes, sometimes being honest and telling the truth does hurt. There is a way to tell the truth in love, and if we really are aware of our own mental clutter. And if we're aware of our own trauma, we would understand that when sometimes someone tells us the truth and we are triggered, it's just the old story in our system, in our body that is triggered. It's not really real. If we can sit in the truth and be in the truth, and I mean, guys, it is a practice. It's not all the time that I know how to be transparent. It's not all the time that I know how to sit in my truth. It's not all the time that I accept the truth when it's being told to me, and your truth may not be my truth. And that is the other thing. How can we accept other people's truth? In today's world, like, just fast forward in today, the world is transparent. Have you noticed that? Have you looked at the way that I'm looking at the way women dress to occasion now? They're naked. We are naked. We are actually seeing, we are actually being transparent. We are showing up naked in the world now. And believe me, it is not comfortable. It's not comfortable. But discomfort is not going to kill us. And I think that's what happens to us. That's what really throws off our game. When we feel uncomfortable, we think it's not good, you know? But when we are uncomfortable, we are in growth. And I can tell you, the breakdown that the world is in right now, the transparency that we are seeing. I'm in Canada, so I consider my neighbor, America, being very transparent and is in a spiritual breakdown. I mean, Canada is in it too, but we are nice over here in Canada, so we be pretending that we are too nice. We cannot see what is going on underneath our own nose. I live in Alberta, Canada, and now Alberta want to actually remove themselves from the rest of Canada. You know what I mean? Like, what's that? What is going on? So, truth be told, is that we are in a very transparent world right now, and we are very uncomfortable. And after the breakdown, because to have growth, to grow in anything, there is always a breakdown. That's where, well, maybe not always, but there is always a catalyst, something that is happening that, you know, um, propel us into growth. We have no choice. Whether or not we want change, change is here. Whether or not we see it, whether or not we bend down and close our eyes, change is here. And with the breakdown that the world is going through, and that is just my own personal assessment. You can have a different one. It's okay with me. Um, but because I know, I understand that we are in a real breakdown, that we are in a crisis ultimately, and this breakdown might take some time. It might take a while. We may never come out of it. Well, God, let's hope we do come out of it. But when we do, we're going to be so much more enlightened, so much more ahead, because we are in the time when we see and how kind of fucked up the world is. That's where we are. We're in a space of time where we're witnessing that. And could you be in witness of that and realize how fortunate we are to live in a time like this? And we are still surviving, we are still striving, we are still growing, we are living in this time. And we have to remember that this is not new. Our forefathers and our ancestors and the people that come before us has lived in turbulent time. The difference is we have a front, we have a front seat, I would say. We are sitting on the front line and we are in it. And that's the difference. We can see it because we have this thing called the internet. Anyways, I encourage you to subscribe, to like my channel, and to follow me because I am here to dish my own real, natural, and soulful stuff. And I welcome you to be part of it. Thanks for joining me today.